guys, this is Haley from OneOnRabbits.com, and today I'm going to be doing a video on are you ready for a pet rabbit? So some of these questions I'm going to be asking you are are you the rabbit type? Because most of these questions are more towards you than towards like a rabbit. So I'm going to be looking down a little bit because I actually have some notes just to make sure I don't forget anything. So first of all, are you patient? I know this sounds like a weird question to ask when you're getting a rabbit, but actually it is a very important question. You need a lot of patience when you have rabbits because like litter training, bonding, when you're taming with your rabbit, all of that takes patience. And I'm not an extremely patient person, so bonding and litter training and also taming with my rabbits has been a struggle for me. Do you enjoy learning and watching the behavior of a new species? Because rabbits are very different from, let's say, cats or dogs in a way that they don't vocalize. So like cats meow and dogs bark and stuff like that. So you can tell when they're angry and stuff like that, but since rabbits don't use any vocal, well, they do a little bit, they do growl and stuff like that, but for the most part they're pretty quiet animals, so they use body language. So it can be very difficult to get used to at first. Also, does your schedule allow a lot of time at home? Because rabbits are very social animals with humans, and if they were to be left alone all day and then you came home and went straight to bed, that's not going to be a very good life for them because they'll miss out with having that relationship with you. You can't just spend like 5 minutes a day with them. Rabbits are very high work, and you also need to interact with them a lot. Do you have other animals? So you can get a rabbit if you have other animals, but if you have a dog, you have to be very careful. I have heard of dogs who have killed rabbits. You would have never expected it, but they have. So if you have a dog and you want to get a rabbit, make sure that your dog is has a very good temperament, and you don't think it would ever do anything. Also, make sure that it knows the basic commands such as sit, stay, lay down, stuff like that, because those are important when you have a rabbit. Also, you will never want to leave any of your animals alone with your rabbit, such as cats, dogs, anything like that, because even if you think that they aren't going to do anything, they can all of a sudden change, and before you know it, an accident could happen. So that's just something to consider. Also, you want to consider, do you have allergies? A lot of people don't think about this before they get a rabbit, but it's actually a very common thing for a rabbit to be returned to a shelter because after they got the rabbit, they found out they or one of their family members are allergic to rabbits. So before you get a rabbit, you want to make sure that you are tested, have an allergy test to make sure that you aren't allergic to the rabbit or the rabbit's food. It's very common for people to be allergic to hay, so you want to make sure you get that checked out. You also want to think about if you have young children at home, because they a lot of time mishandle rabbits, and they don't understand that rabbits don't like to be picked up, and that can be very dangerous, especially if they pick them up wrong. Rabbits can be easily killed that way by breaking their back or them jumping out of their arms or something like that. Also, small children tend to move a lot, which can scare rabbits. You also want to be aware that rabbits can be aggressive. If you pick them up, if the kid happens to pick them up, they can scratch really bad. They can also bite, which can hurt. Another question that people a lot of times ask before they get a rabbit is, should I get 1 or 2? So the House Rabbit Society recommends that you have 2 rabbits. as one rabbit can get a little lonely when being alone, although I have seen rabbits be housed alone and be perfectly happy. It just depends how much time you are able to spend with your rabbit. Another thing people ask is, should I house my rabbit indoors or outdoors? So a lot of you guys already know this, but I strongly suggest housing your rabbit indoors. And it's not just because it's my personal preference, even though it is. It's also because there's a lot of dangers to when your rabbit is housed outdoors, such as extreme heat or cold. A lot of people think it's just the cold, but heat can be just as much or even more dangerous than the cold. Also insects and predators, and the list just goes on and on. So if you are not sure if everyone in your family will be up to having them indoors, you want to make sure for sure that they'll be able to be indoors before you get a rabbit. Also, when they're housed outdoors, they don't often get as much space as they need. Some people have sheds and roomy hutches and stuff like that, but that still is not the same as a rabbit having free range of a whole room or being able to run around the house. Another thing to think about before you get a rabbit is you're going to have to spay and neuter them. A lot of people get rabbits thinking that they don't need to be fixed, that you only get them fixed if you want them to be. But actually it's a medical reason that you should get them fixed. Females have an 80% chance or more of developing uterine or ovarian cancer as early as the age of 1, and that chance increases with age. So it is very, very important that you get a female rabbit fixed. There's also behavioral reasons, such as female rabbits can be very aggressive when unfixed. Believe it or not, Lulu was actually pretty aggressive before I got her fixed. And also female rabbits can have false pregnancies, which is where they think they are pregnant when they really are not, and they'll start building a nest and stuff, and that it can be extremely stressful on your rabbit. And as for males, they can develop cancer. It's not as likely, but there still is a chance. But most of the reason why you want them to get them fixed is behavioral reasons, because they spray and hump everything when they are not fixed. And they really aren't very good pets when they're like that. They can be very annoying and stinky because before you get them fixed, their pee stinks very bad. For males and females, they can be very destructive, meaning they can chew and dig and scratch everything. And they also are extremely hard to litter train, and it's also a possibility that they never will be litter trained if they are not fixed. Rabbits are very expensive. You wouldn't think that such a small animal could be so expensive, but they are. So first thing is adoption prices. It's a one-time thing. Most of the time they aren't that bad. It's mostly about $40, $50. It really depends where you live in the place you're getting them. But I strongly recommend adoption over a breeder just because of so many rabbits out there that need help. But I'll do that in another video. But if your rabbit is not spayed and neutered, you will have to get them fixed, which can cost anywhere from $100 to $600, depending where you live. I think Lulu's spay was about, I think it was about $240, so it really depends where you get them fixed. And also you're going to have to buy a cage, litter box, pet carriers, toys before you get your rabbit, which can all add up. Also for the weekly and monthly costs, such as vegetables, pellets, hay, litter, etc. There is a lot of things that rabbits need that can be very expensive. So that's it for this video. I'm going to be covering a lot of this stuff in detail in other videos, but I just kind of wanted to make an overview so that you guys can get a little sense of what it is to own a rabbit and to start thinking, is a rabbit right for me or not? And if you think that you are a rabbit person, then continue to watch my upcoming videos to learn more about them and what you need to do. And if you guys are interested in any of this information and you want it more in detail, I will send you the links on which I got most of my information and notes on for this video. So yeah, just private message me if you're interested in that. And thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye!